Hey, what's going on, everybody? Back with another how-to. Today we're going to be doing the front struts on this 2011 Jeep Compass. Now this should fall in line with any first-gen Compass, which is 2007 to 2017, so let's get into it now. Alright guys, first step of course is going to be removing the wheel. Now as you can see, we're missing a stud, and that I'm sure is due to these swollen lug nuts. So these are a 19 mil, although I got a couple that I'm probably going to have to put a 20 on just due to them swelling up. So we're not going to be repairing that today. I don't know who did that, and it's not something that we're going to be doing, but we're going to go ahead and get these 19 mil lug nuts off and get the wheel off. Alright, so we got the wheel off, and just for reference on the couple swollen nuts, 20 did work, 20 mil, so they are 19 millimeter lug nuts, but the 20 got those right off if you have swollen lug nuts. So we're going to go ahead and get into the disassembly and getting this strut out and freeing it up. Not too much stuff holding this thing on. So first thing we're going to do is approach this ABS line and this brake hose, alright, and they are retained with two 13 millimeter bolts right there onto the strut. So we're going to go ahead and break those retainers off, and we'll get those two 13s out and break this right off. Alright, got a 13 on the impact and just firing these right out. Alright, so both of the 13 mils are out of our retainers right here, so we can go ahead and pull these to the side and get them out of the way. And now both of these lines are freed up from the strut. Alright, so now that we have both of our ABS line and our brake line out of the way, disconnected from the strut with the 13 millimeters, we can go ahead and approach our sway bar end link right here, which is held on to the strut right here at the top of the end link with a 15 millimeter. So what we're going to do to get this off is I'm going to take a 15 millimeter wrench, we're going to slide it on, and then if you look in the center, there's a hole where you can put an Allen key. I found that a 3/16 is what fits. Now this thing is rusted, and it's a good chance that yours is too, and when these are rusted they like to strip out very easily. So I'm hoping that we can get it off with just the Allen key and we don't start turning in and stripping that inner hex into a oval, but we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing off. She's moving, guys. She doesn't want to, but it is. What I need to do is try to keep this pressure centered and tight on the Allen so we don't lose traction on that and strip it out and move it in a wrong way, especially when we're going to get to the edge where rust is, on the edge of this stud of the end link. But we're going to keep backing this off, and hopefully we can go ahead and get this thing freed up without any real effort. Alright guys, so our end link nut here should be just about free. Yep, there we go. So end link freed up, and we didn't tear into that hex too bad. Looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and continue with the strut disassembly. Alright, so now that we have the end link separated from the strut, we can go ahead and move into our two bolts and nuts that hold the strut onto the knuckle assembly. So these are a 21 mil. I'm going to go ahead and put a 21 mil on an impact, and we're going to start on the nut side and start firing these off. All right, there we go, guys. Nut off, and I'm going to do the same thing for the lower one. There we go, guys. Both of the nuts are off of these bolts. Now these bolts are almost wedged in. They have like a slight pressed end on both ends here. So we're going to need to take a hammer and whack these out. Now the easiest way to do that without damaging the end of the threads is put this back on until it's almost flush with the bolt. So you want to have it right there. Now I'm going to do something I shouldn't do, but I'm going to do it anyway because I'm on a mobile job right now. That's how I'm doing this, and I don't have a hammer with me. I forgot it. I really need a hammer, but I'm going to use this hammer, which is a half drive socket wrench, And like I said, not the best idea. If you got a hammer, that's what you want to do. You really should never do this. It could potentially damage this, but I have no choice. I got to get these out. So what I'm going to do is there we go, guys. Took some wax, but I got that loose. And as you can see, that's the edge I'm referring to. It almost presses itself into the knuckle and into the strut body right there. So do have to get it out, and if you do it how I just did it, you can easily remove the nut. It won't damage the nut or the threads. As you can see, this is perfectly fine, no damage, and I didn't even use the right hammer. So there we go, guys. Bolt out. We're going to do the same thing for the lower one. All right, so I have the bottom one free as well. Now what you want to do before you fully free that up and before I fully take the whole nut and bolt out is you want to put a jack underneath of the knuckle. As you can see, I have it supported right there on the ball joint. You want to support it right at the level it's at, because once we pull this out, it's going to have a ton of play and it's going to go flying and falling everywhere, and the only thing really supporting it is the ball joint and the axle at that point. So what you want to do is make sure you have some sort of support like I have right here with the jack underneath it here, and we're going to also need that just to kind of maneuver this back into place to put it back together. So good idea to put it under right before you take your last bolt off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and as you can see, nut is not damaged. All right, should be able to pull that right out. We're good. And now I can separate the knuckle from the strut, and we're fully separated. And now the only thing left holding our strut in is our upper strut mount bolts. So let's go ahead and get those off now. All right, guys, so all we have to do now to get this strut out is come up under the hood and right here to the strut tower, where the strut mounts to the tower. So we have 3 nuts holding the strut studs onto the tower, and they are a 15 millimeter. Now if you look, the threads and nuts are kind of rusted, so I like using power tools. I like using impacts, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a long extended half drive socket wrench, and we're going to crack all these loose that way, just so we can ease them off without forcing them with the impact, especially as troubled as these look. So I'm going to go ahead and take a half drive with a 15 mil on the end, and we're going to break all 3 of these loose. All right, got that one moving. Actually doesn't feel terrible, but I'm sure that this back one might be the worst, and it's probably not going to go off overly smooth once we get to the top threads, but they're all breaking free. Got the other one loose. Let's get that one free. So all 3 of these are free. I'm going to start backing these off, and then we're going to go ahead and get this whole strut assembly out. All right, guys, so I just got to work this last nut off, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the ones I've already removed, this front one right here, and put it back on just lightly, catch a few threads. I'm going to use that to hold it in place once I remove this one, so it doesn't fall and topple and fall out of the strut tower. So what I'm going to do is get this one off. This will hold it in place, and then we'll slightly remove that by hand to drop the whole strut assembly once we're done. So let's go ahead and get this last nut off, and then we'll go ahead and get this out. All right, guys, so got this last one fully off, and now the whole strut assembly is just loosely held in with just this one that I put back on. So what I'm going to do is I want to take that off with this hand while I'm holding it with my other, and I'm going to hold the body of the strut and pull it all out. So I'm going to put the camera to the side, and I'll do that now, and hopefully you can catch it on camera and see what I mean. All right, guys, so if you can see, I want to get it away from the CV boot, so I have it right here. I'm going to hold it, and I'm just going to slightly unscrew this top nut here. Just going to get off a few threads. All right, I got it free, so now I'm just going to lightly guide it out, and there it is, guys. There is our full strut assembly, fully removed, and now we could go ahead and get into the install. All right, guys, so here is our new strut. It is a KYB Strut Plus ready mount, so there it is. So we got nothing special, but KYB has always been a decent brand for me, and they always get the job done, and I think they're a good price for what you get. So looks good. We look at the end link mount and the line mounts and the strut mount. In comparison to this, it looks perfect. So there it is, guys. That is our new strut. So let's go ahead and get that thing installed. All right, guys. So I had the new strut here. So what I'm going to do is take this and guide it up into the strut tower. I have a new nut. This came with 3 new nuts for the strut mount on the top. So I'm going to guide this up in, try to avoid hitting the axle or anything like that. And I'm going to start this off once I get the studs aligned, and I'll hold this in place with just one of these nuts, and then we can go ahead and get to the reassembly. So I'm going to go ahead and start guiding this thing up. I'm going to look while I'm doing it. I can see what I'm doing. And this is out in there. There we go. So I got it in. Go ahead and start this nut off. And then it'll be held in and we should be good. Alright, so nut is started. You can see we have the strut hanging by the strut tower now, so this is good. I'm going to go ahead and get the other 2 started on, and then we can go ahead and start putting this back together. Alright guys, so I got all 3 of the nuts holding this strut mount up into the tower finger tight. So we got that locked in. We are going to be torquing that to spec, but we're just got them finger tight for right now. So as you can see, we got our strut assembly in place. So now we can start piecing this back together and guiding everything back to its home. So what I'm going to do is take the knuckle here and get this knuckle back aligned here with the strut mount. So as you can see, I got it resting in there. Now what I need to do is take a little bit of the jack pressure off. So that's what I just did. As you can see, it dropped down a hair, and now these holes are just about aligned. So if I take this bolt right here, I should be able to get it going just like that. So I got the top one in. I'm going to get the bottom one in now, and use the jack to your advantage if you have to, if you got to play around with it. So there we go. It's going to stop at that press point. Like I mentioned, these get real tight and squeeze themselves in once they seat. So as you can see, these are all the way in as far as they're going to go. Once we tighten and torque the nuts back onto these bolts, it'll pull that fully through, and then we'll be good to go. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start the nuts off, and I'm going to slowly seat them with the impact, and then we're going to torque them to spec when the time comes. So go ahead and grab one of the nuts here. So I'm going to start finger threading this thing back on, and I'm going to do the same thing for the second one. And then after I get this started, I'm just going to go ahead and take the impact and shoot them on and get it a little bit tight so this starts pulling in and we can start seating this into place. All right, so I have a 21 mil in the impact. I also have a 21 mil wrench just to hold this in place while I do this. All right, you can see I started pulling that in where I mentioned it being pressed. You can see it's coming in. So there we go, guys. I'm gonna do the same thing for the bottom one. We're gonna pull that in, and then we'll have this pretty much seated and we can continue with the assembly. All right, guys, so if you can see, we have the bolts pretty much pulled in onto the knuckle along with the nuts. It's almost seated and flush, but we do need to torque these to spec. So what I want to do is put a little bit more pressure on the jack, because technically when you assemble suspension parts, it should be under a load. So either with the wheels back on the ground, or on a lift, or on the ground, and you can do something like this. So you can put like a jack under the ball joint on the control arm like I have to create a load, something of that nature. It should be torqued to spec under load, but you can kind of get away without doing it as long as everything's back in position. Like I wouldn't torque this if I didn't have the upper mount in, or I wouldn't just have the upper mount in and torque it without having the bottom assembled. So you want everything essentially assembled when you're torquing. And you know, if you can create a load, I would go ahead and try to do it if you have that option. So we created a little load on the suspension with the jack. So now what I can do is go ahead and torque these to spec. Now the torque spec for these 21 mil mount to knuckle bolts and nuts is 81 foot-pounds. So I have my torque wrench locked in, 81 foot-pounds, and I'm gonna go ahead and torque these to spec. All right, you'll notice this is fully getting pulled in. And there we go, guys. Torque to spec. We got the top one locked in, 81 foot-pounds, and we're going to do the same thing here for the bottom. There we go, guys. Bottom one locked in, 81 foot-pounds. So we have both of our strut to knuckle bolts locked in, torqued to spec, and now we can move on with the install. All right guys, so now that we have our strut to knuckle 21 mils torqued to spec, I want to go ahead and work on the brake hose and ABS sensor line mounts right here to the strut. So the black mount goes on top of the silver one. So what I can do is go ahead and get that started off. Just going to put one of my 13s in, and then I can go ahead and put this in on the bottom, and then I can go ahead and start my 13 off on the bottom one, which holds it to the strut. So get that one finger threaded in there. All right, there we go guys. So both of these are now in. I'm just going to have to finalize them and finish them home. So I'm going to go ahead and get these finger tight, and then I'm just going to snug them in with the impact, and both of these 13 mils should be good to go. There we go guys, I have both of those 13 mils locked in, just snugged them with the impact, and these are good to go. All right, so we have both of our 13s locked in on our brake and ABS line. So last thing here we need to torque and get into position is our sway bar end link. Now you might notice this one is new. The owner went and grabbed some new ones just because they wanted to do it while I was in here. So we do got a new end link here, so I'm going to maneuver this into place. And we're going to go ahead and start this off finger tight. Now I am going to torque this, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to shoot it in with the impact to get it snug. And then once I have it snug, I'm going to go ahead and actually torque it to spec. So let's go ahead and get this snug real quick with the impact. All right, so I have this snugged in with the impact. It's pretty much flush. Now if you can't do it with the impact, or you don't get it right away, you might have to do it how we took it off, by putting an Allen key in here and using a ratcheting wrench or a wrench to go around the nut, and then you can do it that way. But sometimes with the new one, they're usually pretty stiff, and if you got an impact, you can just snug it on, get it tight, and then that way we can go ahead and torque it after, and this shouldn't spin. So we're going to go ahead and torque this to spec, and the torque spec is 43 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead, lock my torque wrench in to 43 foot-pounds, and we're going to get this end link nut torqued to spec. All right guys, 43 foot-pounds, got the torque wrench locked in. There it is, 43 foot-pounds. Let's go ahead and feel it. It should feel nice and snug. Got the bottom one locked in as well, since this is a new end link. But if you're just doing the strut, not replacing the end link, you only obviously have to torque this one. So 43 foot-pounds, we have that back, and pretty much we are completely reassembled guys. We have everything back together. The only thing we need to do is go ahead and torque our top 3 15 mil nuts to spec. Now I want to do this with them on the ground. I already actually have these all pretty tight, but we're going to finalize those on the ground once we get the car jacked back down, jack stands and all that from under the car. So we're going to go ahead, get the wheels back on, and we'll get the car on the ground, and then we'll get those torqued to spec. All right guys, wheel is back on. It is on the ground. So all we need to do now is finalize this by just getting our upper strut mount bolts here torqued to spec. Now the torque spec for these 3 nuts on these strut studs is 35 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead, lock the torque wrench in 35 foot-pounds, and we're going to go ahead and get those torqued to spec. All right guys, torque wrench is locked in. That one is good to go. Put this back on here. All right, that's locked in, and we're gonna get this last back inner one here. There we go guys, we have all 3 of our upper strut mount nuts torqued to spec. So we are officially done. So I hope this helped with doing the front struts on your first gen Compass. Make sure you stay tuned, because you never know when I might be wrenching on this thing again. And until next time guys.